their recent results and their match history and their like flair and how they get nervous, but I don't even really think about like who are they practicing with, you know, what do they have in the team house.
Yeah, it's hard to take everything into account, especially, you know, we get it through message and we got to think of it on the fly. We don't have like all the stats with us. We could be outside when we're making those predictions. So, but usually we do put a decent amount of thought into it, and you got to take everything into account. Here's herO. He is 12-7, but just 3-3 against Terran. And, you know, very strong player, one of the best Protosses we have. But this guy, he's been on top for a while, known as the best Terran that we do have here in Pro League and probably the world. And he's 12-5, 7-2 against Protoss. One of the reasons I voted for this guy on Outboxer, I forget who exactly it was he was playing, but he just wrecked a Protoss on this map.
I think it was actually Stork. I think it
may have been.
I do remember the game you're talking about, and it always comes to mind. And that was before the buff to the Widow Mines. That was like just pure bio that he was using. With like
that was when Maru was good against Protoss before Terran got buffed. Exactly. Like, I mean, Maru TVP on this map, you have those kinds of memories. He's on a huge run right now. That's why we decided to side with him. Will he take it? That is the question. It's not 100%.
No, it's not. herO definitely has a good chance here as well. Well, so both players are in the lobby. They are ready. We're going to start this game. The first match between CJ and JINAIR, a Protoss versus Terran on Outboxer.
Down here in the bottom right on Outboxer, in the yellow for CJ Entis, the Protoss player. He is herO.
The top left in green for JINAIR, green wings, it's Maru.
And that gigantic scream you guys heard out of all the fangirls was the CJ fan club, I guess you could call it. They were on the second floor. They came to the railing and they screamed, and they just kind of like disappeared.
Oh, they just
like
came.
A flock of birds or something.
They came, they screamed, they left.
Yep.
They're still back there, but they're just not like, you know, they actually won't have a comfortable seat to watch the matches, I'm sure.
Yep.
So I expect that despite the fact that I said earlier about herO, I would really like to see him try to circumvent Maru's style. You know, his aggressive style and his style that really counters third bases. I would much rather see him actually do an Oracle build, do something like that. They just like draw that so well that I feel like they actually aren't even drawing it. It's like a sticker they have like in a pack in their back pocket. They keep pulling out. They just put on cheerfuls. But yeah, despite the fact that they think that is what I would like to see from herO, I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's just going to stick with his guns and play his normal style.
Yeah. I'd expect like Gateway expand on him. On the other hand, it seems like Maru's probably going to go for the command center first. Pocket Maru, Imba, go with JINAIR.
Pocket man, Wales heart StarCraft. Well, StarCraft heart Wales. Right back at you. I have some Welsh blood in me, like 1/4 or something. I was told.
Really?
I don't know. Like, I'm always really bad at like tracking heritages and stuff, but I was just told like, you know, one side of my family is like, you know, got a little bit of Welsh blood. I'm like, I'm 1/4 Welsh, whatever that means, but I don't know.
That's cool. That's different. I got half Irish, but you know, Irish and English blood sometimes mix, like if you go far and back enough. And I don't know. Could be related to some conquer back in the day. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody knows, but it's just not me. Sorry.
Well, I was asking you, who knows, you know?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
do you know?
Wikipedia.
Really?
Yeah, probably they know.
They know about my lineage? Wikipedia?
Yeah.
I gotta ask Wikipedia about this.
I'm sure you can find it, man. There's a page on you out there. Someone's making it right now, actually. Somebody who knows is like watching Pro League, because of course everybody watches Pro League. So the guy who knows is like, oh, hold on, let me make that Wikipedia page for you real quick, just for your convenience. You can remain anonymous. And he's gonna put on the talk page while he's editing. Like, by the way, great commentary. So he's gonna put.
Well, this SCV out of Maru came into the base of herO. Didn't see much. Did not see the pylon to the left. Something to note, maybe he is panicking a little bit. He might be like, where's your proxy? Where is that pylon? He's going to send that SCV around now because he wants to find it. Unfortunately, it's still in the base of herO.
Yep. Pylons don't move. Still there. Think about that. Pylons moving. I don't know if you know this. You were like an obsessive StarCraft 1 fan like I was, and you were like watching the alpha, like everything that, all the information that came out. You watched the same YouTube video with the planet cracker like 9 times. It's like, it's gonna come eventually. You watch the time warp go down, and all the missile turret shots get absorbed. All these things that never actually made it into the actual game. You just watch and you're like, whoa. You watch all the battle reports with Dustin Browder like over and over and over again, like I did. You know, like there was at a time phase cannons that could move in the alpha within any warpable location. Of course, it became overpowered, but
that sounds quite overpowered.
There was also, you could also at the time, I remember one game that was playing a battle report on Scrap Station that on my midnight launch party I went to in Atlanta. They kept playing that same battle report over and over again, where you could warp in Immortals, like in any power field with like as long as you had the robotics and warp gate research, you could just like warp in Immortals, warp in Immortals into the fight. I'm like, whoa, that's not fair. Like, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Maru, well,
never mind. I was like, that would not even make any sense compared to anything we've ever known about StarCraft 2.
Well, he's still going to come over here. I think he's still scouting.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make a CC, but I was like, huh.
You know, he scanned the main base, and what do you see? He saw one extra gateway. He still doesn't know there's a pylon over there to the left with a gateway next to it. He doesn't know about the robo at the natural. So he could be like, what are you doing? I think he's just not freaking out, but he's a little bit concerned. He's like, I don't know exactly what he's doing. I need to find out. And he's going to send his SUV, but unfortunately he's going to be caught out here by these stalkers.
I'm going to check the exact range of vision on the SUV. I want to see if he was able to even verify that there was a third base or not. No, he didn't get close enough. So he actually doesn't know if there's a third command center or not, or a third nexus or not either. So that's really annoying.
Yeah. He's pretty much in the dark. He's scanned, and he didn't see much. So he's got to play careful here.
He certainly does. Let's see what the next step is here. Obviously, we have a Bay and a Twilight Council going down. So it seems to be herO wants to play a safe third base. He's not taking the risky, greedy version of the expand. He's going to have the Colossi go. He does add a second forge, though, which I think with the Bay is pretty reasonable, but it's starting to be like, well, how much gas can you actually spend on all this food? That's that third base is going to be a bit delayed if you're trying to get Blink and 1-1 and Colossi to hold your base.
He's also got 3 sentries out already. It's like 2 stalkers, like no zealots even.
I'm like, you need to put four probes in every gas to do this one, man.
Well, his 2 forges just finished, but he only has enough for +1 right now and Blink. The Bay is up. He's also started 1 Colossi, and there's the armor. He is not making any units but the 1 Colossus. And now he starts 2 probes. And there's an army of Maru coming across the map. And by the time it gets to the front, it's going to have stim. It's going to have combat shields as well. And I'm not sure if herO has enough to defend against this. This could do a lot of damage.
I don't think it will. It's going to be a good poke, though. He shouldn't be able to get critical damage here. I don't care who he is. He's Maru. Let's see. Overcharge on the Nexus. Colossus is out. Got to dodge those force fields. Barely gets out of there. That was a close call. And
forces the overcharge. Backs off.
It's just hard to actually do damage to a Protoss player right now in the current meta with the Mothership Core out all the time. It's just so defensible. But had he made a third Nexus, that would have been probably not holding that, you know. If he tries, then he loses his Colossi and loses the game potentially. So that's another way of Maru just being like, all right, overcharge this. And you don't have a third Nexus, that's fine. You don't have a third Nexus, I'm okay with this. You do, I'm just going to kill that. So it's not a bad move by Maru, you know. Don't look at this and say, well, I mean, he lost a few Marines. Like, he didn't do anything. But it's definitely worth it to poke like this.
Yep. herO has a hallucinated Phoenix going around the base of Maru. He sees there's no third just yet. Maru, you know, he's not making that third. He's just making a bunch of units. He's coming across the map. He's got 1 mines here as well. Look at that. They're, I'm not sure exactly what happened over there. It seemed like herO was killing his own pylon.
Yeah, his Colossus got trapped, it looked like.
Ah, okay.
I hope he didn't just repeat the problem. I think he might have, actually, with that cannon finishing. I'm not sure, but He knows better than me. I don't have the game in front of me to know, but I'll let Pylon will go down here. That's going to unpower just one gateway. Actually gets the gate first and gets both. And he's down here at the bottom of the ramp. 2 good force field stalkers blink down as well. No overcharge used, so he's able to trade okay with his bio. And here we go. Brendan is going for that cannon first. Can he get the Nexus? He's certainly going to try. I think he may get it. There's the overcharge. He knows he needs to save that for the main base. But again, at the natural, here we go. A few units dropped out here to help tank a little bit to try to draw these forces away.
Very nice force field there, but he is going to get 1 Colossus, but the rest of his units here are going to be forfeit. He's going to blink on top, herO is, and all of those units on the ground are going to die. And he's going to chase after these with the blink stalkers. This medevac's going to go down as well. Would the second one go down? Almost.
He just got too excited. He lost a lot there for what could have been critical damage with a bit less, you know, if the micro were worse for herO, but just, I mean, looking at this overall situation now, herO is down in Harvesters still. He still doesn't have a third base. And Maru has, again, an army lead. It's the tech, though. The upgrades he's getting out, the Colossi that he's trying to build that count up on. That's what he has. That's the advantage that he has, which will be the more important advantage the longer the game goes on. Maru is just trying to continue to get this tempo advantage. And a lot of people ask me, what do you mean, Wolf, when you say tempo advantage? I get this question a lot on Twitter and on my Tumblr page. It's when you do things like this to cancel your opponent's nexus, keep him on the back foot constantly while you're back at home doing something else. You're getting good trades against your opponent. But in this case, he's actually not really getting the good trades. He has these Widow Mines in position. But the Colossus is doing a lot.
Yeah, Colossus is doing a lot. The Widow Mines are getting very decent shots here. No Zealots, you know, but there's just not enough bulk here for Maru. It seems like these Widow Mines are going to go off as well. But we've seen Maru do this time and time again, fight so scrappily with such a small force and a lot of medevacs here. And he's forcing herO to micro here. He's forcing herO to fight this battle. And you know, with mainly only Marauders here, he's doing very nicely on the trades. Yeah,
I mean, he has a third base up at home, and he's trading evenly here. And actually, the trade is starting to go in his favor a little bit here with some really nice medevac micro. Nexus Cannon is finally ready, but Maru's been mining from his third base for so long. Did a lot of damage here. I worry, though, that it was not enough damage because 2-2 is about to be done here for herO. And with 2-2, you can, as you might expect, start 3-3. And then once you have 3-3, your Protoss upgrades are 3-3. Never a place that Terran wants to be if he can help it. So let's see how much damage he gets done here. The composition, again, a bit lopsided for herO because he doesn't have any Templar tech. He's only on those 3 Colossi. But with no Vikings out for Maru, it's not so bad. He's also got way more Marauders than he has Marines, which is pretty good against Colossi. It's pretty okay.
Yes, very good. I mean, we've seen Maru do this time and time again. He's just going to micro his heart out. And herO just has to be so careful. Even sending those 4 Colossi out there to like see what's going on out there in the middle of the map, he has to be careful. He has to make sure there's no Widow Mines, nothing sneaky going on here. But this isn't sneaky at all. Maru is going to come in here with a bunch of Marauders, force out a bunch of these force fields as well, get very nice Widow Mine shots as well onto those Zealots, and it seems to just back off for now.
+2 is on the way for Maru. He's starting to get those upgrades, catching them up. He's got 4 Vikings coming out here as well, so he will finally start to get that Viking count up to where it needs to be to deal with these Colossi. And that's a lot of resources spent. That's a lot of Vikings that he's making, but still, as far as I can tell, no, there's no Temple Archive. He hasn't even started it yet. So, I mean, with no Temple Archive, he's making the right composition. He's doing the right thing. His medevac count is also currently at 11, so it's not like he's really losing a whole lot of build time on those medevacs because he already has plenty. All right, this attack is going to hit with a better upgrade timing. This is a very scary situation for Maru. He doesn't have that +2 yet. He doesn't have his +1 for his Vikings. He needs every set of Vikings he can get.
Yeah. I'd love, actually, if herO went for the 2 gases at his third base. He still doesn't have them, and he has a very big gas deficit. That would be very nice here. He wants to make those Stalkers, the Blink Stalkers, doing very nicely for him. Wants to try to snipe a medevac, blink back, does a decent job, does some damage. Gets some damage from the back with his Colossus as well. And, you know, he has so many gateways here. So many gateways. The Observer showed it to us. I think it was upwards of 10 right now. So he's just trying to do a little post with his Blink Stalkers onto the Vikings. And Maru's taking this very seriously. He's bringing out his SUVs. He knows this is crunch time right now. He has to hold off this attack.
If he does, he's going to be in a decent spot. Let's find out if he can do it. Vikings here. quite high in number, and it's a mostly Marauder composition, but still, there are enough Zealots on the ground to crush through most of that ground army. Not enough anti-air to finish off the Vikings. Few more Stalkers coming through. Does herO have enough? Oh, this is so close, Brendan. I'm really having trouble deciding who's going to win this fight. It looks like Maru will push it back, but then another round of Zealots come in. This is so close.
It's incredibly close. I mean, most of his army supply right now is in all those medevacs. That's what you got to look at. Just those few units that he has back here is fighting in this one bunker. And, you know, there's just so much on the ground here for herO. Maru has lost a lot of SCVs as well. And I worry for Maru right now. He just doesn't have any ground army, whereas there are so many gateways back at home for herO, and he has so many gateway army units.
I think he's dead. Not enough on the ground. The medevac's helping healing out what is left. But even if he survives here, the damage has been done. Worker count down to 18. Those medevacs are starting to fall. Vikings on the ground. Bit of a desperation move here. The lack of upgrades from Maru really hurts him. And I think that herO is going to pull off a bit of an upset and take that very important first win for CJ that they desperately need, I would say, going into this matchup. Because like you said, Effort and Hydra, not the two players that are really known for always bringing it home. They can take some wins, but if CJ's able to get this lead and get that morale going into the rest of the matches, maybe all they need is just for one of those two players to win a game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, of course, as this game isn't over yet, but it basically is.
Yeah, I mean, herO, he hasn't finished it off just yet. It looks like he might do it here with a very nice time warp, but he's already done so much damage. Down to 17 workers is Maru. He's just trying to micro his heart out, try to somehow come back, but it's not looking good.
Well, the last of these units do get picked off, and, I mean, look at the worker count. If he pulled all of his probes, he'd actually win the game with the extra DPS of that alone. I think really all he's missing is just like one round of Zealots, and then he's going to have enough to deal with the medevacs with his Stalkers. There's the Zealots, and actually even a few sentries here. The damage output in this army is just insane, so this base is going to have to lift. If it doesn't, it dies. If it lifts, it's not mining. You know, it's a loser situation. He's like trying to repair it.
Yeah. If it lifts, it dies as well with how many Stalkers there are here.
Yeah, it looks like it actually. Goodbye, Orbital. Counterattack here will be thwarted by a recall. Kills the Orbital. And fangirls for herO are screaming as Maru may lose 2 games in a row, Brendan, back to back.
Yeah. Very interesting. I mean, he's trying to micro here still, and you got to feel for him. He took his hand off the keyboard for a second before. You got to know that he's feeling the pain. He knows that he's like incredibly far behind, but he's going to try to fight through it. We're going to see what he can do. I mean, he lost the Orbital. herO's up to 4 bases now. It's only a matter of time before we see this kind of army.
Yeah, it's just going to be too much. It's way too overwhelming here. Blinks on top of the bio. GG. Fangirls go crazy as CJ herO takes game number 1. And the atmosphere in the studio is pretty pumped right now. I'd say there's about even number of fans for each team. But I will always go back to this point until this match is over. This is a very pivotal game for CJ. More than it is for JINAIR. CJ needs this win.
Oh, they do. They need these points. They need to do better here at Proleague. And they're starting with herO. herO is going to take a game off of Maru.
Well, I just mean even more than the points. Like in this specific match, the lineup
yes,
of players,
course,
like we talked about before, like this is a huge step for them in the right direction because JINAIR are the winners of round 3. They have a great lineup, a lot of success recently. So,
yeah. I was just saying before that, you know, JINAIR after winning that round 2 playoffs, they are in a very, very good spot in the overall points as well. So, you know, even starting from the first or the second game here, they got to get more and more wins